This is high school baseball.
It bounces off the mound. Needs to throw the plate.
High school baseball is presented by Hatch Motor Company and Snowflake and Show Low. Simply the best in service and sales. On iTalk 1067 and Show Low TV channel 56. Produced by White Mountain Youth Productions and
This is high school softball. High school softball is presented by Hatch Motor Company and Snowflake and Show Low. Simply the best in service and sales. On iTalk 1067 and Show Low TV channel 56. Produced by White Mountain Youth Productions in cooperation with Show Low TV and iTalk 1067 Radio. Also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Sunrise Park Resort, Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store, Beeler Orthodontics, Summit Regional Medical Center, Octopus Car Wash, and Subway. And now, Hatch Motor Company and Snowflake and Show Low presents high school softball.
A sophomore.
Talked about that sophomore hitting .458 on the season. First pitch inside for a strike. We do want to welcome in our viewers as we now have our live feed up. Welcome to Show Low High School as the Aztecs of Copper Canyon are made the 3.5-hour trip up the mountain to Show Low to some cool weather as that ball hits the cleanup hitter Cano. So she goes to first base, and we are loaded here in the bottom of the or top of the first.
You might say Show Low may be a little fortunate there having hit the batter. I mean, I know that sounds awkward, but the runner at third was ready to score, but the home plate umpire sends her back to third. Now it's bases loaded with just one out for the Lady Cougars here.
And this is going to bring up the 5-hitter for the Aztecs, Athena Bolton. Athena, that ball gets to the backstop, and we're going to get our first run of the game for the Aztecs.
It's a wild pitch.
Couple ducks on the pond for you, all right? Do your job like you know how. You're good here. Load up. Let's catch the ball. Let's go. Hey, good RBI, Athena. Good job, kid. Hey, two down. Let's go. That ball. Come on, court, bear down. Let's go.
Take a deep breath, baby.
Here we go, 5.
Good job, Shaq. Mel, in a little. Back. Page.
Take it on, ladies. That's all right, you're protected.
Mallory. Hey, I'll take that. That's the right, wrong decision to make. All right, let's go. Don't go to sleep. Get her she goes. Here we go.
Let's play, 5.
Hey, sit her down.
Let's go, kid. You got it, kid. Let's go.
Go. Hey, gotta win every inning, right? Gotta win the ball.
Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center is a proud supporter of high school sports. Many of our local sports players were born at the hospital, where Summit Obstetrics offers comfortable individual rooms for mom and baby. In case of a sports injury, the hospital ER is always staffed and prepared to take on the most serious injuries, and Summit features an advanced diagnostics department with state-of-the-art equipment. The Summit Healthcare orthopedic and therapy teams can help sports players overcome injuries and return to the game. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center wishes all players a successful and healthy season this year. When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Tammy, will you go get Shy Happy Meal? Oh!
I'll give her a slap across the face. Maybe she'll be happy.
The Happy Meal.
Knock it off. Here we go, Paige.
Let's go. Keep saying. Yeah. Keep a little patient, get something good. Just Lamaze breathing. You know what Lamaze breathing Watch it.
Let's just put our kids in check, all right? Hey, you got it, you got it! Come on, babe!
Keep on me, kid. Hey, go 9. Ball spot, drive it.
Great eye there by Tia Clark, as that one was hittable if she wanted to try to play a little home run derby, but she knew the strike zone and laid off that one. So here comes Mallory Merrill hitting in the 4-hole. Runners on first and second for the cleanup hitter for the Lady Cougars. Takes that one in the dirt for ball 1.
That one goes low there, but Merrill certainly in a runner in scoring position to pick up a run here for the Lady Cougars, being down 2-0 in the bottom of the first.
She lets that one go right down the middle to even up the count 1-1. As this game goes on, Mr. Punt Cooley's going to have to pay attention here for the player of the game. The player of the game is going to be brought to you by Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store. Best selection of
Hey, pick a small spot. Spin on it. We're not looking to walk. See that good one? Come on, let's go. Hey, now you got to protect, man. Hey.
Oh my God.
Go, let it travel.
Come to play. Lauren clock on deck.
Hey, Claudia!
Alright, Megan, here we go, kids!
Go, Meg!
Go, Meg!
Come on, baby.
plate. Gaylord
The shortstop, Abby Frimbres, to at least try to shoot down the runner coming over to third from second, but again, the throw just not in time.
That's a hard way for Reedhead because that ball was smoked, but as you said, right through the legs of the third baseman for the Aztecs. So that's going to bring up Lauren Clark. She is our designated player of the game, so she is, if you're a baseball fan, you'll hear of the DP and flex here in softball. Your DP is your designated player, and that person is your considered as like your DH, your designated hitter for baseball. But your flex player in softball today is our Cougars shortstop, Shy Wheeler. And what that means for your flex players, they can go play defense. They can do anything on the defensive side. They just aren't in the lineup to hit today. As Clark takes another pitch high, so we have 2 balls and 1 strike. Bases loaded again for the Cougars with 1 out here in the bottom of the first, trailing 2-1. Here's the pitch. Ooh. Up again. 3 balls, 1 strike.
That's a good look by Lauren Clark, the hitter. That's a high pitch with not much velocity on it. So for her to be patient and hold back, that's a good piece of work by her.
Very good patience, as some of those pitches that are right at the waist or above the belt look really good to hit. As this one bloops into center for a base hit. All the runners had to freeze to make sure that it was going to fall in. So that brings in Tia Clark for the 2nd run of the inning. So Lauren gets a base hit and an RBI.
Bases still loaded, brings up Courtney Gaylord to the plate.
It's a good piece of hitting by Clark. You know, she didn't hit that solid, but regardless, just enough to drop it over the infield and in front of the outfield for the RBI.
And that RBI ties up the game. So we're sitting at deuces here in the 1st inning, as that first pitch is low in the dirt. So we're going to get number 1 for the Cougars as a courtesy runner. Or
Shy Wheeler goes in courtesy run.
Shy Wheeler's going to come in as a runner for the DP. So those two, again, if you're new to softball, your flex and your DP are connected. And that ball's driven into the left center gap. 1 run scores. Here comes another. And we're going to stop with a runner at third. So that's a 2 RBI double for Courtney Gaylord as she helps herself out.
Great piece of hitting by Gaylord. And, you know, we talked earlier how Clark was able to kind of nub a hit into the outfield. Gaylord on that pitch just ripped it right past the left fielder. And as you say, a stand-up double and a couple of RBIs. So good piece of hitting by the starting pitcher today for the Lady Cougars, Courtney Gaylord.
So Brooke Gaylord is going to come in and courtesy run for the pitcher. As I was saying earlier, if you're new to softball, your DP and your flex are conjoined at the hip. Whatever one does, the other one can do. So if you get the DP as Lauren Clark is on base, your flex can go in for her as they are the same person.
Like Brooke Gaylord
so Brooke Gaylord comes into courtesy run for the pitcher. So you get a courtesy runner for either your pitcher or catcher. That's just going to help speed up the game. So now that brings up Kaylee Hall, number 8 hitter in the Cougars lineup, takes one high and in for ball 1. So we're 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Runners on second and third, and the Cougars are leading 4-2. That ball's hit. Nice play by the shortstop. Ranging to her left a little bit.
Makes a nice play.
Dives, makes a play for Abby Fimbres for out number 2.
Brings up Mac Isaacs.
Not necessarily a really hard hit ball by Kaylee Hall, but regardless, a great defensive play by Fimbres. She had to move over quickly, and as you say, leave her feet to catch that little line drive. So great job by Fimbres.
Sometimes those are the hardest ones as you get jammed and that ball's got backspin and different, trajectories and whatnot. Just as a good job to keep that ball in place. This brings up Mackenzie Isaacs. The lefty is in the box and takes ball 1. 2 outs, runners on second and third.
Oh, we got a balk there.
We're gonna have a baseball won't have or softball won't have a balk. We're gonna have I believe it's gonna be an illegal pitch which if they do that as an illegal pitch, it'll be a ball to the batter and runners will move up.
Right. Flores went through her entire motion, just did not release the pitch, and had a big smile on her face knowing that she wasn't able to execute, so now they're going to move the runners around.
That's what happens on an illegal pitch, is like a balk in baseball, but they don't call it in softball. So we're going to go an illegal pitch, moves all the runners up, so that will score the 5th run of the inning for the Cougars. And I think that will be a ball to the batter. So if I've done it right, it'll be 2 balls and no strikes. And that pitch is outside, so it should be 3-0 to Mackenzie Isaacs.
Hey, here we go, Matt. You got it?
The number 9 hitter in the lineup for the Lady Cougars.
Coach Nick's coaching up Mackenzie Isaacs, just telling her relax and stroke it if it's there.
That ball is hit
exactly
hard to the second baseman. Field it, throws over to first for the 3rd out of the inning. And that will retire the Lady Cougars as they put up 5. So 5-2 after 1, as the Lady Cougars are leading the Aztecs of Copper Canyon. This is your Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Hi folks, Gentry Hatch here. Let's face it, in today's world, there are a lot of tools out there to help you buy a car. An iPhone, Kelly Blue Book, the list goes on and on.com. At Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and Show Low, we know that you can and will find the best deal for you. We will even help you find it if you don't happen to have a smartphone, which I believe everybody does. Remember, no hassle, no pressure, simply the best in service and sales. Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and in Show Low, and online all the time at hatchmotorco.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile. Pioneer College, expanding minds, transforming lives.
Welcome back to Show Low High School. We are live for softball in the White Mountains as the Lady Cougars are hosting the Aztecs of Copper Canyon. Stepping into the box is Jessica Mora, as she's going to kick off this second inning. Kicking off, speaking of kicking off, when it comes to kicking off your college education, choose the college with the lowest tuition in Arizona. That is Northland Pioneer College. Swing and a miss by Jessica Mora, as we are 1 ball and 2 strikes to the number 8 hitter for the Aztecs. Here's the windup and the pitch. Fouls it straight back.
Well, Mora has been struggling a little bit, falling behind on the pitches there, being late on her swing, but that timing's a little bit better, just fouls it off. But still, behind in the count here. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Courtney Gaylord with the pitch, outside for ball 2. Evens it up the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jessica Mora in the box. Here's the windup from Gaylord and the pitch.
Ooh.
Up and in for ball 3. Full count.
That's a good pitch there. Froze the hitter completely, being high and tight, but just probably a little too high.
So 3 balls, 2 strikes. That ball is hit down to third, picked up clean across the diamond for out number 1.
Third base.
Great play by the third baseman. Megan Reed fields it cleanly, and a nice throw over to first to get the first out here in the second inning.
This brings up the number 9 hitter for the Aztecs. Stepping into the box, lefty Crystal Love. Gaylord gets her sign from her catcher. Here's the windup and the pitch. Strike 1 on the outside corner.
Great pitch. Yeah, low and outside. Just paints that outside corner of the plate, as you say.
Looks so far that Gaylord, after that first inning, is settled in, at least with these first 2 hitters.
That second pitch looked to be just pretty much in the same exact spot as the first.
Gets her sign. Here's the windup and the pitch. Up and in for ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the number 9 hitter for the Aztecs. Outfield looks to be straight away as we can try to set this up for you. Infield as normal. Normal depth for softball. Third baseman's about 5 feet in front of the bag at third. First baseman looks about even with bag over there at first. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the windup and the pitch.
Good pitch.
Foul tip directly into the glove for strike 3. 2 outs.
Leadoff hitter, Rosie Perez, number 14.
Well, you'd mentioned it earlier, you know, Courtney Gaylord. I mean, not that she had a difficult first, but Copper Canyon did put up 2 in that first inning. But credit Gaylord, she's really settled in here in the second.
So this brings up the freshman Rosie Perez. Rosie was hit by a pitch in her first at bat. This is one of the outstanding freshmen that Coach Johnson was talking about. Rosie's hitting .517 on the season as a freshman. Just outstanding. Coach Johnson talked highly of his 2 freshmen that are his first 2 hitters, Rosie Perez and Abby Fimbris. Says if feels that they can go on and play some college ball as their career in 4 years will end with the Aztecs. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Outside pitches. It looks like Rosie had a little bit stepping out on that one and couldn't catch up with the outside fastball. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the windup and the pitch. Fouled off. Perez fighting there on the outside fastball.
If we can get a little help out with those foul balls, we'd appreciate it.
That one went in with solar panels.
All right, we're here in the top of the second at Show Low Stadium with the Cougars leading 5-2. Over the Aztecs of Copper Canyon. Gaylord's windup and the pitch. Curveball on the inside for a swing and miss for strike 3 and out number 3.
Cougars.
That's a good pitch there to finish the inning.
As Copper Canyon goes down in order. And the Lady Cougars are up in the bottom of the second to try to extend the lead of 5-2. We'll be right back with your presentation of Hatch Motor Company's softball in the White Mountains on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Hi folks, Gentry Hatch here. Let's face it, in today's world, there are a lot of tools out there to help you buy a car. An iPhone, Kelly Blue Book, the list goes on and on.com. At Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and Show Low, we know that you can and will find the best deal for you. We will even help you find it if you don't happen to have a smartphone, which I believe everybody does. Remember, no hassle, no pressure, simply the best in service and sales. Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and in Show Low, and online all the time at hatchmotorco.com.
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information. Go online at npc.edu.
Welcome back to Show Low High School. We are softball in the White Mountains as the Lady Cougars are hosting the Aztecs from Copper Canyon. We're talking during the break about how cold it is. It's still skiing weather. Go see Sunrise Park Resort as they have tremendous discounts for some spring skiing. Go check them out at sunriseskipark.com. Welcome back as the Cougars are hitting in the bottom of the second, already leading 5-2. As we have a first pitch hit up the middle, diving play just out of the reach of the glove of our shortstop, Abby Fimbris.
By the shortstop, but Paige is through to center field.
That's our leadoff hitter, Paige Kerr.
On the base hit.
Well, that's a pitch right out of the meat of the plate, and Kerr wastes no time. You know, she does a nice stroke and puts it right by the pitching circle and close enough to second where the shortstop can't get to it. So a quick leadoff hit.
Ball 1 high, so that's a leadoff single to kick off the inning. Speaking of kicking off, kick off your college education with Northland Pioneer College. When it comes to college education, choose the college with the lowest tuition rate in Arizona, Northland Pioneer College. This brings up Brina Westner. 2 balls, no strikes. Pitch, she hits smokes it by the shortstop all the way to the fence in left center. Coach Dixon's waving around Paige. Paige comes in to score easily as we have a double with a throwing error to move up Wiesner to third. And she's looking, throw into home to get Wiesner back to third.
Marina with the hard
score that a double and an RBI.
As you say, that's a well-hit ball. I mean, she smoked that.
Third base on
Just
throw.
cranked it. Actually hit it pretty much right at the shortstop, but given the velocity of that hit,
hitter Tia Clark,
not able to make a play.
followed by cleanup Mallory Merrill.
Wiesner smoked that ball by the backhand of the shortstop and couldn't react.
You also have to credit for some great base running. She didn't hesitate, just turning the bases and got what she could get.
In the concession stand,
in addition to getting the RBI, just great base running as well.
Wiesner got the second, watched the throw come in, get away from the pitcher, and she moved up to third. So we have no outs. Runner on third, that's going to bring up the 3-hitter Tia Clark. Tia steps in. Here's the windup and the pitch. Ball one up high.
Well, you know, another thing, a big differential so far in this game between the starting pitchers, Courtney Gaylord for the Cougars, she's been throwing in the mid or the low 50s pretty consistently, whereas the starter here for Copper Canyon, Paula Flores, is just barely even, she's in the low 40s and only a couple of times hit the mid 40s, and I think that's why Show Low's had success turning on her with some of these great hits.
That's a good point, Pond. That was one of the keys of the game, and our keys of the game are brought to you by Ace Hardware. Ace Hardware has 24/7 locksmith. Next time you're locked out of your car or just need a key replaced any hour of the day or night, any night of the week, call Ace Hardware, your helpful place with 3 locations in Pine Top, Overguard, and Show Low. Tia Clark gets the free pass on the walk to first. So we got runners on the corners.
That's Clark's second walk, having done so in the first inning as well.
Yep, walked in the first, came around to score, so that brings up the cleanup hitter, Mallory Merrill. Runners on the corners trying to extend this Cougar lead. She squares the bunt, takes the ball in the dirt as Clark moves up to second. On the rotation, corner infielders both come crashing in, and the second baseman has to go cover first, and the shortstop went to cover third. Nobody occupying second as Tia just walks into second for a stolen base. So no balls, or 1 ball and no strikes to the cleanup hitter as Merrill takes ball 2.
And again, Flores, we talked about in the first inning when she's been missing, for the most part, missing high, and again, following that pattern here with those high misses.
Here's a pitch, another one. 3 balls, no strikes. And that ball's trying to thrown in the left field as they tried to back hit the runner at third. Catcher overthrows her third baseman to bring in another run for the Cougars to extend that lead to 72. You know, we brought up our injury report in the first inning by Summit Healthcare with a fully staffed emergency department, an advanced diagnostics department, outstanding orthopedic and physical therapy teams. Summit Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game. Flores wasn't on the injury report, Punt, but I wonder if that getting hit in the ankle in this cold weather has anything to do with that. If it was her land foot, push-off foot to...
It's hard to tell. I mean, she's been missing high pretty consistently, and her velocity, as we talked about earlier, I mean, I'm not sure what she normally throws at, but she's been consistently in the low 40s, and these Lady Cougars are able to turn on her pitches pretty effectively.
Cougars have done a great job sitting back on the slower pitches and just being able to sit back and attack that and not get too anxious and be out in front. Here's the windup end of pitch to Mallory Merrill. She sits back and lifts one in the left. It's caught. Runner at third tags. And that's going to be a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Mallory Merrill.
Fly ball out to left field with the sacrifice.
That's a good hit. You know, Merrill just hits that pitch, kind of
number 2,
high pitch, right out over the middle of the plate. And she's able to get the barrel around, drives it into left field. A good fielding play by the left fielder, Sabrina Hernandez, but of course not able to get the throw in time to get the runner. Tia Clark scores. So Merrill with an RBI, good piece of hitting there.
And that's 1 out in the inning as Merrill's retired. That brings up Megan Reedhead. Base is empty. Reedhead takes one high for ball 1. 8-2 here. The Cougars lead the Aztecs of Copper Canyon here in the bottom of the 2nd. Aztecs jumped out early with 2 runs in the top of the 1st. And it's been all Lady Cougars since then as they've come back and scored 8 unanswered runs with 1 out here in the bottom of the 2nd.
Reedhead with a really well-hit ball in the 1st inning to the 3rd baseman. And she was able to get on base and ultimately score. And she'll walk here at her 2nd at bat.
Reedhead draws a walk.
Yeah, you talk about her first at bat. She smoked one through the legs of the 3rd baseman.
Lauren Clark.
And we'll have to see what an official scorekeeper sitting to our left has that written down. We had it as an error as it was off the glove, but it was just smoked. That's going to bring up Lauren Clark, the DP, as she hits a ground ball to 2nd. Or shortstop picks it up.
Nice play.
Flip over to 2nd for the out. Safe at 1st on the relay. Tried to turn 2, so we have a fielder's choice for Lauren Clark.
Hard to shortstop. Shortstop makes a great play.
Megan Reedhead out at 2nd.
Choice.
So that's going to put Clark at first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 2nd. That's going to bring up Courtney Gaylord. This is the Cougars pitcher as she tries to help herself out and extend the Cougar lead. First pitch, driven, shortstop dives, knocks it down. Infield single for Courtney Gaylord as the shortstop ranges to her right, dives, and just knocks the ball down just barely out of her reach.
Yeah, that's a good piece of hitting there by Gaylord. Hits it in the gap. You know, Fimbra as the shortstop able to move over and get a glove on it, but well hit ball. She just cannot field it and get it up for the throw.
So that's going to bring out Brooke Gaylord to run as a courtesy runner for the pitcher. So we got 2 outs, runners on 1st and 2nd in the bottom of the 2nd inning. First pitch outside for strike 1 to Kaylee Hall. Kaylee in her first at bat had a dribbler to short, I believe, for a 6-3. Is that what you have, Bunt? Ever as an out in the 1st inning.
I think that was that line drive that the shortstop dove for to catch.
Line drive, that's right. So we have a unassisted or line out to the 6th. Pass ball. Moves up the runners. So now we have Kaylee Hall with runners in scoring position, looking to extend the Cougar lead.
There's 2 runners in scoring position now. So, you know, well hit ball here, gets a couple of ribbies.
Ball 2 up high. 2 balls, 1 strike to the number 8 hitter for the Lady Cougars. Looking to extend that lead. Lauren Clark at 3rd. Brooke Gaylord standing at 2nd with 2 outs. Crack of the bat. They're going to be off and running. Here's the windup and the pitch. Ball 3 up and near, or up and away. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Well, good eye by Hall. She's ready to swing. You can tell she knows what's up here in terms of having those runners in scoring position, but at the same time, she's not chasing any bad pitches.
Absolutely. She's looking 1 pitch in 1 spot, and that was not it, as that was inside for a base on balls. So they're loaded up for the Cougars.
Draws a walk.
So Copper Canyon really digging themselves a hole again here in the 2nd. Not able to execute defensively that well, and with these walks, continuing to keep Lady Cougar runners on the base, which makes it tough.
Fly ball hit out to right field. Right fielder's under it, makes the catch to retire the side.
Right field
so
makes
the
a nice catch
Cougars
for out number 3.
Score 3 to extend the lead, 8-2.
Makes the score 8-2.
After 2, Cougars lead. This is Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk 106.7.com.
Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center is a proud supporter of high school sports. Many of our local sports players were born at the hospital, where Summit Obstetrics offers comfortable individual rooms for mom and baby. In case of a sports injury, the hospital ER is always staffed and prepared to take on the most serious injuries, and Summit features an advanced diagnostics department with state-of-the-art equipment. The Summit Healthcare orthopedic and therapy teams can help sports players overcome injuries and return to the game. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center wishes all players a successful and healthy season this year.
Welcome back to Show Low High School as we have our Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school softball. Lady Cougars leading the Aztecs of Copper Canyon 8-2. We're in the top of the third inning as it is a cold and overcast day here in Show Low.
Well, we had sun earlier, but that quickly went away. Now the wind's picking up just a little, so it's definitely dropping a few degrees pretty quickly here.
This is going to bring up the number 2 hitter for the Aztecs, Abby Fimbris, freshman that Coach Johnson raves about at the top of his order, hitting .407 on the year, and that went up as she got a single in her first at bat. Fly ball down the right side, second baseman over, makes the catch for out number 1.
A good piece of fielding there by the second baseman. Kaylee Hall drifting over behind the first baseman to make that catch. And on a day like this with a little bit of wind and with that spin coming off the bat, that's not always an easy deal, but she does a great job there.
That brings up the senior Candy Soto. Here's the windup from Gaylord and the pitch. Pop up to the infield. Gaylord says, get out of the way, I'll take it myself. So we're going to go pop up unassisted Gaylord for out number 2.
So 2 pitches, 2 outs for the Lady Cougars here in the third. Courtney Gaylord doing a great job so far today for the Lady Cougars. And that was one of the keys to the game today, we felt, for this Lady Cougar team, was to have some effective pitching, and she certainly delivered that.
There's a base hit by Claudia Cano through the 6th hole between short and third. So 2 outs. Cano extends the inning with a single to left.
Bolton, number 10.
So we're 2 outs. Runner on first.
That's just good hitting there by the cleanup hitter, Cano, the catcher, tonight's catcher. Just doing a great job turning on. It was a little bit fat pitch out over the middle of the plate, and she certainly took full advantage of that.
You know, we talked about the young Aztecs team. We talked about the 2 freshmen at the top of the order. Cano in the cleanup spot is a sophomore hitting .458 on the season, as that one is fouled off by Athena Bolton. Athena had a RBI in the first as she hit the ball the second to advance the runner home. So we're 2 outs here in the top of the third. Swings through that one. No balls, 2 strikes.
That's a tough pitch. I mean, she made a good cut at that, but kind of a sinking fastball there by Courtney Gaylord. That makes it tough for the hitter to catch up to.
Swing and a miss for strike 3 as Athena Bolton goes down on 3 pitches for the strikeout, and out number 3 to end the inning for the Aztecs.
Strike number 3 for out number 3.
We're going to go to the bottom of the third with the Cougars leading 8-2. We'll be right back as Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
Need a fireplace? Ace has that. Need barbecue grills? Ace has that. Need paint? Ace is the best place for that. Need a chainsaw or weed eater? Ace has that too. Ace can even fix your chainsaw and your weed eater. Ace Hardware has everything you need for your home improvement project. They even have a 24/7 locksmith. Locked out of your home or car, their mobile unit will come to you. That's your helpful place. Ace Hardware, the White Mountains in Pinetop, Overguard, and Show Low.
Is going to take over for Paula Flores as Paula moves out into center field. And we'll get those changes as the batters come up to the plate. Welcome back to our live video audience here in Show Low on a cool and windy day.
Paige Kerr, leadoff hitter. Brenna Wiesner on deck.
As we're back to the top of the order.
Well, in each of the first 2 innings, you know, these Lady Cougars were able to go through their entire lineup in both innings. So that might be part of the reason why Copper Canyon here is changing pitchers. Yeah, of course, also being down 8-2.
8-2. We went 1 through 9 in the first 2 innings. As the leadoff hitter, Paige Kurtz, a line drive to center for out number 1. That ball was hit hard, just right at Flores. She barely had to move for out number 1.
Very well hit ball by Kerr, who had a single in the second and also scored a run in the second. But she's been stroking the bat pretty well tonight so far.
So that brings up Wiesner, as Wiesner is 2 for 2 on the day with a single, a double, and an RBI. She fouls that one off. I don't know if you could hear with our mic, Coach Nick's down there telling Wiesner to make the adjustment as the new pitcher comes in. Going from a right-handed pitcher to a left-handed pitcher. Speed's a little different. Diving play by the shortstop. Throws from her knees.
Play.
Great play. Great play by the freshman, Abby Fimbers.
Makes a great play.
She dives to her left, throws Wiesner out from her knees for out number 2.
That's an awesome play. I'm not sure she really needed to necessarily dive for that. I mean, I'm not going to diss her. She sees it better than I do, certainly. But to be able to come up and, as you say, throw from her knees and shoot her down at first base, just outstanding defense.
Again, not dissing our shortstop at all, but I think that could come with some experience as well as a shortstop here. Fimbers is a freshman. As her career goes on, she'll learn and grow in the game, that she can just take that one step and range over there and be able to forehand or get in front of those and try to stay off her feet. But you know what, Pon, it looks good on camera and her jersey's dirty. So, Mom, look, I played.
Oh, yeah,
I made
absolutely.
a play.
Well, to make any throw from your knees in the infield is not an easy thing to do, and she put it spot on right to first base.
Pitches high to the number 3 hitter, Tia Clark. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. First 2 batters have been retired by the Aztecs.
Whoa.
As they're trying to get the Cougars to go down 1 in order and 2 without going through the lineup for the 3rd time of the game. As the leadoff hitter, Paige Kerr, has led off every inning so far here for the Lady Cougars. Flores with the windup and the pitch.
Nice pitch. Took some speed off that change up and frees the hitter Clark. That was right over the middle of the plate, so a good pitch there by Hernandez.
Good pitch as the changeup was low. Brings the count full on Clark. She's protecting. Fastball outside, fouls it off. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here the number 3 hitter, Tia Clark, for the Lady Cougars. Cougars leading 8-2 here in the bottom of the 3rd over the Aztecs. As it looks like there's only a couple girls from Copper Canyon that didn't bring sleeves with them. As that pitch is just inside for ball 4.
And Hernandez, kind of hoping that the home plate umpire to call that a strike. It was close, but probably just a little too high. So she'll contend with her first base runner of the game so far in her relief duty.
That was real close as Tia Clark gets her third walk of the game. And that ball is driven deep down the left field line and just foul off the fence.
That ball's very well hit by Clark. She's been able, she's had 2 walks in her previous 2 at-bats, but that's probably one of the better hit balls we've seen today, despite the fact of going foul.
Today. So that brings up that's the cleanup hitter, Mallory Merrill, as she's just out in front of that pitch. Clark on first with 2 outs. Outside for ball, a snap throw down the first. Clark safe. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my bad.
Here to Merrill.
Looking at the wrong player there on the scorebook.
Merrill, the cleanup hitter for the Lady Cougars. Strike 2 as that pitch hits the outside corner. She goes with that one today on the outside. The wind's blowing that way. She could possibly drive that one into the other school.
Well,
fly ball hit deep center field. Back, and that ball is gone! Over the Isaac Hunting sign in center field. Merrill with a 2-run shot
home run for Mallory Merrill
to extend the lead for the Lady Cougars.
Great piece of hitting by Merrill. She, you know, with that foul ball earlier, you could tell she was in the groove in terms of her timing, and she certainly proved it there, taking it to the deepest part of the field, right down center field.
Lauren Clark on deck.
2 RBI home run.
Solo walk to Clark again, comes back to haunt the Aztecs as she scores on the 2-run homer by Merrill. That extends the Cougar lead to 10-2 here in the bottom of the 3rd. This brings up Megan Reedhead, number 5 hitter for the Cougars. She squares the bunt, pulls back for ball 1. All smiles over there in the Cougar dugout as they have a 10-2 lead. Speaking of smiles, let's visit Beeler's Orthodontics. Live to smile, love your smile. As we're 1 ball and 1 strike to the number 5 hitter, Megan Reedhead. Out in front of that one, hits ball to third, knocked down, thrown over to first for the out.
Yeah, nice play by the third baseman.
That's a very good play. I think that's Cano moving from catcher to third base, and
the Aztecs
in terms of her position, playing position, and that's a hard hit ball for her to gather it up and make that quick throw. A great piece of work.
So we're 3 complete here in Show Low as the Cougars lead the Aztecs 10-2. We'll step away and take a break. Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Hi folks, Gentry Hatch here. Let's face it, in today's world, there are a lot of tools out there to help you buy a car. An iPhone, Kelly Blue Book, the list goes on and on.com. At Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and Show Low, we know that you can and will find the best deal for you. We will even help you find it if you don't happen to have a smartphone, which I believe everybody does. Remember, no hassle, no pressure, simply the best in service and sales. Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and in Show Low, and online all the time at hatchmotorco.com.
Welcome back to Show Low High School. We are live for softball in the White Mountains. You know, with the weather, feels like football weather, Punt, as it's cold and brisk. But of course, that only means baseball and softball weather here in the White Mountains. But if you still think it's winter and you want to go get some skiing, go visit Sunrise Park Resort as they've got spring deals going on. Go check out those deals on SunriseSkiPark.com.
Number 5, Sabrina Hernandez.
We're here in the top of the 4th as the Aztecs trail the Cougars 10-2. That brings up the number 10, Paula Flores, here in the top of the 4th, trying to get something started here for the Aztecs as that pitch is in the dirt and gets the umpire, catches him in the mask. So catcher goes out to talk to her pitcher, and give Mr. Chavez some time. And as Greg Chavez is talking here, tells the parents that the catcher is going to owe him some ice cream for letting him get hit with a ball. So we're back, ready to go. Gaylord gets the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch. Strike one on the outside. Looks like that's Tia Clark back behind the plate now. Or nope, that's still Wiesner. Oh, and Flores for the second time today gets hit in that ankle.
That would look like maybe the knee. She's limping down to first, and with a very noticeable limp, she's going to try to walk it off. And with this cold weather, as you were talking about earlier, makes it that much worse in terms of the sting and the pain.
Yeah, this cold weather. Aztecs aren't used to this, as being from Glendale, 3.5 hours away, trying to figure out the cold weather.
The umpire, Greg Chavez, out talking to the pitcher, more than anything just to give the runner at first some time to kind of regroup.
Yeah, give her some time. Take this opportunity to talk about Deemer's Glass. Need glass for your home or business? Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best place to call. Quality glass at an affordable price. Call Deemer's Glass at 1-888-GLASSMAN. As Sabrina Hernandez bunts to advance the runner, is thrown out at first. So we're going to score that as a sacrifice bunt to move up Flores the second for first out of the inning. Kind of interesting there with trailing 8.
Number 7,
trying to advance a runner, and we'll see if that can pay off for Jessica Mora. She fouls off the first pitch over the screen for strike number 1.
Well, the third baseman, Megan Reedhead for Show Low.
Major League Baseball Hall of Famer Bob Feller burned over 2,500 strikeouts in his career. Bob said, quote, "Every day is a new opportunity to build on yesterday's success or put its failures behind and start over again. That's the way life is with a new..."
She squares the bunt and fouls that one back for strike number 2. So Mora, the DP for the Aztecs, in a hole here. No balls, 2 strikes. Runner on second with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. As the Aztecs trail 10-2 here in Show Low. Gaylord gets the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch. Ball in the dirt. Nice scoop there by Wiesner. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to the number 8 hitter, Mora. Gaylord bouncing around out there, trying to stay warm, getting the sign. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for a drop third strike. Wiesner picks it up and throws her out at first for out number 2.
And strike 3 for out number 2. Nice, so
that'll be a strikeout with a throw out of 2-3. So 2 outs. 7. And it brings up the runner, advances the runner to third. So that brings up Crystal Love, lefty, number 9 hitter for the Aztecs. Big swing and fouls it off for strike 1. Love is 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout in the second as she went down swinging. So no balls, 1 strike. Here's Gaylord's pitch. Outside for ball 1. Snap throw down the third. Back easy is Flores.
Other than the first inning where Copper Canyon took advantage and put up their only 2 runs of the game, they've been pretty flat.
Yeah, they've only got 2 hits on the game.
You got to credit the defensive Show Low and, of course, the pitching today of Courtney Gaylord doing a great job.
As Love swings through that one. Paul, you're talking about them being quiet. They have Fimbers has a single in the first, and then Cano has a single in the third. Those are the only 2 hits of the game for the Aztecs. Nice scoop there by Wiesner, saving a run. That brings the count even to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's a good piece of catching. We've seen her a few times today guard that plate and hold runners in the process.
Great job picking that one, saving a run. Wind up, here's the pitch outside. That one gets away. Here comes the runner. Gaylord covers. And she is out at the
Great
plate
play.
as Flores doesn't slide.
Nice play by the catcher, Brenner Wheeler.
Great throw,
Going to
great
pitcher
tag,
Gaylord for
as
the out
that
at
will
home.
end the threat.
Route number 3.
In the top of the
Cougars up to the
fourth.
plate.
So we're coming to the bottom of the fourth.
Bottom of the fourth
Cougars
inning.
leading 10-2. This is Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information. Go online at npc.edu.
Welcome back to Show Low High School. We are live for softball in the White Mountains. As the Cougars wanting to extend their lead here in the bottom of the fourth as they lead 10-2.
Lauren Clark will lead off for the
Lauren
Lady
Clark's
Cougars.
going to kick off the inning. And when you're
Courtney
looking to
Gaylord
kick
on
off
deck.
your education,
And Kaylee
choose
Hall
a
in the
college
hole.
with the lowest tuition in Arizona, Northland Pioneer College. So Lauren Clark, the designated player for the Cougars, 1 for 2. Now she's going to be 2 for 3 as she ropes a single up the middle
And Lauren
for a
with nice hit
leadoff
up the middle.
single.
Reaches first base.
So that's a
on the-
single in the first and a single here in the fourth.
Good piece
For
of
Lauren
hitting
Clark.
by Clark. As you
Shy
said,
Wheeler
she's been pretty
will come in to
consistent.
run.
Hitting the ball today. Got an
Brings up
RBI in the first inning
Her 11, the
with
pitcher,
a single.
Courtney
And
Gaylord.
again, following up here with another
Kaylee Hall
single.
on deck.
Just takes advantage of a fat pitch over the plate there and just drives it right up the middle of the field.
She definitely could be in the running for our player of the game. And our player of the game is brought to you by Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store for the biggest selection of hiking, hunting, fishing,
1 for 15,
camping gear
15's done.
on the mountain. Go to Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store, south of Pine Top on Highway 260. Got some changes coming
Number
in.
1, a courtesy runner in for Clark, and according to home plate umpire
So that's Wheeler.
Shy Wheeler, she'll stay in for 15.
So Wheeler's going to enter the game, so that will eliminate the DP. So she will now hit if Clark's spot comes up again. As we have a
good.
pickoff, and she is thrown out at second base for out number 1. As they
Wheeler
get
cutting
Wheeler
back.
being
Does a good
aggressive
job throwing
and
her
just
out at second
can't
base.
beat the throw
On
down.
number 1.
So
That's good defense there by the Lady Aztecs.
So this brings up Gaylord as she swings through that one. So we got 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. We want to remind you, if you're hungry after this game, no better place to go visit than Subway. Eat fresh. As Gaylord takes that one up over her head for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And speaking of good hitting today for the Lady Cougars, Courtney Gaylord certainly up there. She's got a couple RBIs in the first inning with a double, and then her last time up with a single.
As we have a
And
check.
she'll get another single here, beating out a bunt down the
Courtney
first
runs
base
down infield
line.
hit.
So she's 3 for 3 today.
Yeah, that one was
First
almost,
base.
it worked out as a
Brings
bump, but
up
it was a check swing
Kaylee Hall.
that she went lunging on a changeup
Isaac's on
and
deck.
beat out the
No
throw.
way.
So we got a single for Courtney Gaylord. She's on first as we get a timeout from Coach Johnson, it looks like, to go visit with his players. Or
He's going to make Coach Johnson here making a substitution in his outfield. It's hard to see the numbers
looks
with
like
the
number
long hair.
6. If I could.
Number 6 in for the right fielder, Carla.
It's like Daisy Torres is going to take over in right field.
6 for 4.
6 for 4.
So 6 is going to come in. Torres is going to come in for Carla Uriarte in the
Daisy
flex
Torres
position
for the Aztecs.
That's ball 1 to Kaylee Hall. As Kaylee steps in today, 0 for 1 as she hit a line drive to the shortstop and then walked her next time. So we're gonna, that's ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes. To Kaylee Hall, runner on first with the Cougars leading 10-2. That ball upstairs for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. To the Cougars, number 8 hitter, Kaylee Hall. Swing and loops it out to right field, over the head of the right fielder, up against the fence. Runner at first had to hold, so she makes sure it falls. She advances to third. Hall with a double.
Kaylee Hall with the hard hit ball out to right field.
So we got runners on second and third with 1 out.
Runners advance.
Here for the Cougars, they're looking to extend their lead.
Yeah, runners on second and third. Mac Isaacs up at the plate. Paige Kerr on deck.
So this brings up the number 9 hitter, Mackenzie Isaacs, lefty, looking to extend the lead. She steps in 0 for 2 today.
Snap throw down to third, gets away from the third baseman, so that'll allow the runner to score.
That's the second time today the Aztecs have given up a free run on a snap throw that's gotten away from
moves up to third base.
baseman, gotten into left field. So that's 1 ball, no strikes to the number 9 hitter, Mackenzie Isaacs, as she's looking to add to this Cougar lead. Ball in the dirt, nice block there by Claudia Cano to save a run. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swing and driven out to right field. Off the glove of the right fielder. 1 run will score. Around second base goes Isaacs, and she's getting sent home. And she comes back as the throw beats her. So we'll give unfortunately, as that ball smoked off the glove, that's going to be an E9
drives in the run
for Isaacs. But that gives us another run, and we are in position for the run rule, as I believe it should be 12-2, if my math is right. 12-2 as the Cougars extend their lead over the Aztecs here in the bottom of the 4th.
That was a very well hit ball by Mackenzie Isaacs. Just drives it cleanly into right field, and poor fielding by the right fielder allows Isaacs to go all the way to third. But in the process, as you say, we're in 10-run rule area here.
We're going to get some more substitutions. 13 for 5 for the Lady Cougars. Let's see who we got here. We're going to have Megan Fish.
Number 13, Megan
coming
Fish,
in for Paige Kerr.
Left-hander. All the way for the Cougars. Runner on third.
Been talking about this cold weather. If you still want to go get some skiing in, Sunrise Park Resort has spring deals going on. Go check those deals out at sunriseskipark.com. So Paige Kerr leaves the game 1 for 3 on the day. Megan Fish takes her first pitch up for ball 1. Swing and line drive up the middle off the glove of the pitcher. Bobbled by the shortstop. And gets the runner in.
Maybe drives the ball
for me. I don't know how official scores are going to go. I give that a hit as it's deflected off the pitcher.
Number 10.
And just adjust that spin of the ball for the shortstop. So we're going to give Fish a single and an RBI in her lone at bat so far today. So that brings in Isaacs to extend the lead to 13-2. Swing here from Brianna Wiesner. Ball, shortstop throws it into right field. So that ball is bouncing around. So we're going to give a fielder's choice to Wiesner as they tried to get her out, get Fish out at second. So fielder's choice with a throwing error that moves Fish over to third. Wiesner moves up to second on the throw on another throwing error.
Second, third.
So the wheels a little bit coming off here for the Lady Aztecs, Copper Canyon. Not only is Show Low continuing to be pretty aggressive at the plate, these pitchers for Copper Canyon, you know, by no means overpowering. Both pitchers today in the low 40s in terms of their top end speed. And you know that Show Low's going to put the ball in play, and defensively they've just really been struggling. A lot of errors and a lot of throwing errors as well, which just allows Show Low to keep moving runners around the base paths.
We did talk about how this is a young Copper Canyon team. You know, the cold weather, the 3.5-hour drive, a lot of factors in here. Also, as the first rankings from the AIA came out yesterday, Copper Canyon's ranked number 39 in the state, and the Cougars come in as number 6 in the first power rankings of the season. And here's Tia Clark as she gets one through the 5-hole, and that's bobbled out in the outfield. So Clark with a single and an RBI advances a second on the air out in left field.
Actually, I think that's 2 RBIs for Clark.
Second base.
I have only the runner on third was
Mallory Merrill.
Fish, as McKenzie scored on the other throwing error before that. So Fish scores on the RBI from Clark. Clark moves up the second. Actually, it might be 2. Fish and Wiesner score.
Right.
Sorry, punt, you are correct. So Fish and Wiesner score to extend the lead here in the bottom of the 4th. 15-2 for the Lady Cougars over the Aztecs.
And the cleanup hitter, Mallory Merrill, up to hit, who's just been smoking it today for the Lady Cougars. She hit her last time at bat, 2-run homer.
Mallory is 1 for 1 in her 3 plate appearances as she walked her first time, had a sacrifice fly to left for an RBI in the second inning. As Punt said, the 2-run blast to straightaway center, and the Aztecs want nothing to do with her in this at-bat as the first 3 pitches haven't even been close. And there's ball 4 in the left-handed batter's box. So they put Merrill on with the unintentional intentional walk. So that brings up Megan Reedhead with 1 out and 2 runners on here in the bottom of the 4th. Cougars in threat of batting around again as Reedhead out in front of that one and bounces that one foul. First 2 innings, Cougars batted around, got through, or didn't bat around, got through all 9 in their order. So Paige Kerr led off the first 3 innings as the leadoff hitter, and they are threatening to bat around here again in the 4th. Here's the windup and the pitch in the dirt for ball snap throw down to first, and she is out at first.
That's a great throw by the catcher to shoot down Merrill at first base, who had a big jump.
Play by the catcher to catch.
Great piece of defense up by the first or the catcher there.
So great snap throw from our catcher Claudia Cano down to first. That pitch is right down the middle for strike 1 on Megan Reedhead, or strike 2, I should say, as she fouled that first pitch off. So there's ball snap throw down the second, trying to get out of the inning with a couple pickoffs here. So Reedhead evens up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on second here in the bottom of the fourth. That ball's to the backstop as Clark moves up to third. So full count on Reedhead. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Clark advances on
bottom of the fourth with the Cougars leading 15-2 over the Aztecs of Copper Canyon. Reedhead looks for RBI here, and she's going to draw the base on balls instead. So Reedhead, base on balls, goes down to first, and that's going to bring up Shy Wheeler.
Shy Wheeler
for her first at bat as she takes over for Lauren Clark as the Cougars have batted around here in the fourth. So far, 5 runs here in the fourth inning as that ball is up for ball 1 on Wheeler. We got 5 runs on 5 hits here in the fourth inning as the Cougars have batted around for the 3rd time in the game. That ball's up and to the backstop, and here comes Clark sliding in safely for the 16th run of the game.
That's a wild pitch way up, way high. And the catcher just not able to reach tall enough to gather that up, and good running by Clark, recognizing the pass ball or the wild pitch, and scores easily from third base.
So that brings 2 balls, no strikes on Shy Wheeler for her first at bat of the game. She was the Cougars flex player. She takes over for Lauren Clark in the lineup. Watches that one go. 3 balls, no strikes. Here's the windup and the pitch. Wheeler swings at one in the dirt for strike 1.
Yeah, chasing that low pitch. Coach Nix kind of looks away and did a little bit disappointment, sending the message, you got to be smart up there.
Wheeler with her first at bat today wasn't patient on that last one, and that one gets away as she draws the base on balls and goes down to first.
Wheeler draws a walk.
So Reedhead up to third on the wild pitch.
Reedhead advances to third.
Wheeler on first with the base on balls. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth.
Number 11 pitcher.
These long innings can be killers, you know. Copper Canyon right now just struggling to try to get that 3rd out and stop the hemorrhaging here.
Yep, stop the bleeding here. I'm watching the body language of the Aztecs and not used to this cold weather at all, as girls are blowing around in their hands, moving around, shaking around, trying to get some blood flow going.
We got another substitution here for, I believe, Show Low.
Like number 3, Brooke Gaylord.
Talked about the cold weather earlier in this game, or earlier in this inning and throughout it, as the wind is now blowing out to straightaway center. And if you still want to go get some skiing in, go visit Sunrise Park Resort. Spring deals going on. Go visit their deals. Find them out on sunriseskipark.com. As that brings up Courtney. So number 3 is now up.
Brooke Gaylord.
Brooke Gaylord comes in for Courtney for her first at bat. So Brooke, 1 ball and no strikes. Snap throw back to first. As I'm writing, it looks like we're 1 ball and 1 strike here on Brooke. Brooke Gaylord stepping in for her first at bat of the game. Here's the pitch, swings and fouls it off down the third base line for strike number 2. So we got 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cougars trying to extend. They've kicked this door wide open on this game. And if you need to kick off your college education, visit Northland Pioneer College. Choose the college with the lowest tuition in Arizona. That is Northland Pioneer College. as Brooke Gaylord swings through that one for the strikeout. As the catcher's got to throw it down for the drop third strike. Throw it down to first as that ends the fourth inning. The Cougars put up 6 as they put up 16 in the game. End of 4. We're 16-2 Cougars. This is Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center is a proud supporter of high school sports. Many of our local sports players were born at the hospital, where Summit Obstetrics offers comfortable individual rooms for mom and baby. In case of a sports injury, the hospital ER is always staffed and prepared to take on the most serious injuries, and Summit features an advanced diagnostics department with state-of-the-art equipment. The Summit Healthcare orthopedic and therapy teams can help sports players overcome injuries and return to the game. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center wishes all players a successful and healthy season this year.
iTalk 106.7 KNKI Pine Top, a Komaniki communications station.
Welcome back to Show Low High School as we are here for softball in the White Mountains as the Lady Cougars are hosting the Aztecs from Copper Canyon. And this is Brian Lang, Mike Side with punt, Cooley, and punt. We are in the top of the 5th, and we are in run rule situation as the Cougars are up by more than 10 with a 16-2. And we have an illegal pitch called here on Gaylord as she re-entered.
So the home plate ump, Greg Chavis, is walking out now to explain to her why he called that. Of course, we can't hear what's going on now, but
I don't think she paused. You have to come set for that second. So we should have Crystal Love up to bat as we had a pass ball.
Gives the okay sign to her coach, who's also instructing her on what to do. But yeah, I mean, you know, Show Low just exploded in those later innings. You know, Copper Canyon came out quick in the first inning, put up their first 2 runs with their first 2 hitters actually scoring those 2 runs. Looked like they might get off to a quick start, but credit the Cougars. You know, they came back with their own offensive push and in the process as well, playing some really solid defense today.
Beautiful pitch on the outside.
And getting very good pitching from their starter, Courtney Gaylord, who's gone the distance so far.
Absolutely. Sorry about that punt. Great pitch on the outside corner that curves out. Looks like a screwball on the outside. That's a curveball that's lined to the third baseman for out number 1.
And nice play by third baseman Megan Reedhead.
So Crystal Love goes down for out number 1. As Punt was saying, first 2 batters of the game scored for the Aztecs on 1 hit. And then they had another hit later on in the 3rd, and that has been it, as the Aztecs have been silenced here by the Cougars. And that brings up the leadoff hitter, Rosie Perez. Perez fouls that one off. Perez is 0 for 1 on the day as she struck out in the 2nd, hit by a pitch in the 1st. Perez, one of those outstanding freshmen that Coach Johnson was talking about earlier in the game, that we talked about also, hitting .517 coming into this game. As she hits a pop-up to the second baseman, routine, as the second baseman is under it, Kaylee Hall for the second out of the inning. We are 1 out away from this game being in the books. And this brings up Abby Fimbris.
Andy Soto on deck.
With Soto on deck, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Gaylord looking to finish the deal here for the Cougars, as that one is right down the middle for strike 1.
Great pitch. She's just looking now to close this out, as you say, being smart with her pitches. Looking for strikes here.
So there's the windup and the pitch. Up high for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Abby Fimbris. As she's looking to extend this game for the Aztecs as they are down to their final out of the game, as we are in run rule situation at the 16-2 lead for the Cougars, as that pitch is in the dirt for ball 2. 10 runs is all you need here after 5 to have the run rule. Outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike to the number 2 hitter, Abby Fimbres. As she grounds past the third baseman into left for a base hit. So the Aztecs are not going to go away quietly as Fimbres gets a single for her second hit of the game. So she is 2 for 3 on the day.
She has 2 of the only the 3 hits so far by my count for Copper Canyon for the entire game. So Fimbres certainly doing her part today.
And this brings up the number 3 hitter, Candy Soto, as she swings through that one. On deck is Claudia Cano, and she's the only other one that has a hit for the Aztecs. As Puntz was saying that Fimbres has 2 of the 3 for the Aztecs as they're looking to extend this game. Here's a pitch from Gaylord. That's fouled back to the screen. No balls, 2 strikes. Runner on first, 2 outs for the Aztecs here in the top of the 5th. So we are 1 strike away, 1 out away from the Cougars ending this game in a run rule. Here's the windup from Gaylord and the pitch. Swing and a pop fly down the right field line.
Oh,
foul ball.
First baseman
Tia Clark
reaches for it, just goes off the very tip of her glove there, just not able to gather it up.
So 0-2 on the number 3 hitter Soto for the Aztecs of Copper Canyon. Gaylord gets her sign. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. And that will be the ball game, I believe, as the run rule is in effect. As the Cougars beat the Aztecs of Copper Canyon 16-2 here in the run rule in the 5th inning. We'll step away. We'll come back to our final thoughts, players of the game, and
also a special thank you.
Final remarks from Punt Cooley. As this is Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school softball on iTalk 1067 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
Need a fireplace? Ace has that. Need barbecue grills? Ace has that. Need paint? Ace is the best place for that. Need a chainsaw or weed eater? Ace has that too. Ace can even fix your chainsaw and your weed eater. Ace Hardware has everything you need for your home improvement project. They even have a 24/7 locksmith. Locked out of your home or car? Their mobile unit will come to you. That's your helpful place. Ace Hardware, the White Mountains in Pinetop, Overguard, and Show Low.
Hi folks, Gentry Hatch here. Let's face it, in today's world, there are a lot of tools out there to help you buy a car. An iPhone, Kelly Blue Book, the list goes on and on.com. At Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and Show Low, we know that you can and will find the best deal for you. We will even help you find it if you don't happen to have a smartphone, which I believe everybody does. Remember, no hassle, no pressure, simply the best in service and sales. Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and in Show Low, and online all the time at hatchmotorco.com.
Welcome back to Show Low High School as we are in the post-game wrap-up as the Cougars defeat the Aztecs of Copper Canyon 16-2. Copper Canyon came out in that first inning. We thought it was going to be a game punt as they came out. The first 2 batters of the game scored to take the early 2-0 lead, and after that it was all Show Low as they put on a hitting clinic and a patience clinic at the plate with a bunch of walks, batted around 3 times in the game.
Right.
And
well, anytime you put up 16 runs, you know, after giving your opponent 2, I mean, that clearly shows that Show Low was not going to let up at all. And I mean, we talked about the keys to the game for Show Low would be to get some solid pitching, and they certainly got that in spades from Courtney Gaylord. She goes the distance for the Lady Cougars, and defensively the entire team played a very, very solid game today. So they've certainly executed what we at least viewed to be some of the keys to the game for them, and of course coming out victorious today with a big, big win.
So the Aztecs end the game with 3 hits as Abby Fimbris gets 2 of the 3, and the Cougars come out swinging the bat for 15 hits on the game. And that will take us to our player of the game. Player of the game is brought to you by Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store. For the best selection of hiking, hunting, fishing, camping gear on the mountain, go to Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store, south of Pine Top on Highway 260. And we were talking at the break on who we were going to give it to, and it was, we had a unanimous. I mean, it was unanimous,
and
but we had a
really
lot of players to pick from.
Well, I mean, you look at the book here, you know, you go down the lineup, every position for Show Low scored a run, at least 1 run today. Tia Clark, the first baseman, ends up scoring 4. We've got a few players, scoring a couple. The catcher, Brian O'Wiesner, scoring 3. So, you know, everyone did their part today offensively for the Show Low Cougars, and we talked about their defense today being really solid, all the positions doing a great job. But the 2 that rise to the surface very, very quickly, you know, Courtney Gaylord just had an outstanding outing today on the mound, but hitting, I've got her going 3 for 3 with a couple of RBIs. So she did really well at the plate as well. And then Mallory Merrill, she went 1 for 1, had a couple of walks, but she had that big 2-run homer. I believe that was in the 3rd inning, and generated a total of 3 RBIs for the game for her. So those 2 clearly rising above here today, despite outstanding play from the rest of their teammates. Mallory Merrill and Courtney Gaylord certainly deserving of co-players of the game in tonight's ball game.
Absolutely. Congratulations, ladies. As Punt said, Merrill scores twice, 3 RBIs, and to add to Gaylord, strikes out 6 in the shortened game due to the run rule. So 6 Ks on the day for Gaylord as she settled down after a shaky first, settled right in and got that done. And Punt, we need to thank these kids from Show Low that do an amazing job for our TV broadcast. These kids they get the shots that you're seeing. Right. I mean, there's communication going on. These guys and gals do an outstanding job, and we'd like to thank them.
Absolutely. So all of these kids are with the Show Low High School media class. And technical director today is Isaiah. James Firm on graphics. Audio today, Tyler Roten. And the cameraman for tonight's ball game, Christina Schwab, Vincent Palazzolo, and Jerry Butler, who I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the instructors for all these kids. But collectively, all of them, as you say, just doing an outstanding job. Again, they always show up, do all the hard work, put in the time, and on a cold day like today, probably wondering, why am I out here? But kudos to all of them for just doing outstanding work.
Yeah, you talk about the weather. I'm looking out. We're lucky enough to be inside of the press box. I look out on the dugout of the third base side, and there's a gentleman up there in shorts. And a T-shirt, freezing. And someone get that kid a jacket. I know it's late, but we got to start packing some jackets for some of these kids. And all right, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Ace Hardware in Pine Top, Heber and Show Low, Sunrise Park Resort, Northland Pioneer College, Summit Regional Medical Center, Beeler Orthodontics, Deemer's Glass, the Indian at Honda, and Octopus Car Wash. Thank you for your support of youth sports here in the White Mountains. That's going to do it for us today here in Show Low as the Cougars defeat the Aztecs 16-2. Alongside Punt Cooley, I'm Brian Lang. Until next week, take care. This is Hatch Motor. softball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.